Welcome to the Athena Wellness Podcast, the show that invites you to take a seat around the community fire and listen to stories that inspire. I'm your host, Kathy Robinson, author, coach, and founder of Athena Wellness, a company that's dedicated to supporting you on your journey to live more wholeheartedly. Today's episode is brought to you by the Athena Wellness Academy, your resource for wholehearted living. The Academy's featured offering is an online course called From Type A to Type B, How to Mindfully Descend the Corporate Ladder and Invite What's Next. This course is perfect for you if you're contemplating or navigating a professional transition, and it's available as a self-study or with a small cohort of students facilitated by me, Kathy Robinson. To learn more, I invite you to go to athenawellnessacademy.teachable.com or click on the link in the show notes. Hello and welcome. Thanks so much for joining me for this shortened Wellness Wednesday episode, a little midweek boost to help keep your warrior vibe high. Today's show is a Walking the Talk Vancast, a look behind the scenes into what I'm learning and working through, along with a takeaway for you. These episodes are informal and casual, recorded on the go from wherever I happen to be at the time. And today, that's sitting in my van in the woods close to home, enjoying what may be the last of the warm fall days in the northeastern part of the United States. At the height of my corporate career, the predominant life coaching advice was to invite more play into your life. That never resonated for me. I tried. Remember the adult coloring book phase in the 20-teens? For me, that had the opposite effect. It felt like a complete waste of time. But here's the thing. I've learned that we don't all play the same way. When I was a kid, maybe 7-ish, my favorite thing to play with was a bulky reel-to-reel tape recorder that probably weighed about 20 pounds. I spent hours recording my voice and creating narrated pieces where I'd insert clips of song lyrics to tell a story. I saved my allowance until I had enough for an upgrade, a cassette recorder, sleek and portable. And so began years of making recordings, my own voice, family and friends, and lots of music, which led to mixtapes and mix CDs with elaborate handmade covers. Anytime I was creating a new recording, time would just evaporate. When I started my professional career on Wall Street, the first thing I did was buy an acoustic guitar, and I started taking music lessons. Once a week, I would rush home from work, change out of my suit and into my jeans, and head to the local music store, where I would learn how to play classic rock from a jazz musician named Charlie. I think I was his only adult student. While my Wall Street colleagues spent their evenings attending graduate classes for their MBAs, I took classes at a Manhattan college and got certified as an audio engineer. By that time, I graduated to electric guitar, formed a band, had a gig in a club in the West Village, and began writing songs of my own. Over time, that led to a basement full of used recording gear and amps, which I would turn up loud to release the corporate stress after a long commute home. A funny thing happened around that time. I began having dreams where I was lying on my back in my basement in the dark, microphone in hand, recording only my voice on my 4-track. This glimpse would come to me at all times of the day as well, but I felt like I had nothing to say, so I never even tried. But that image never faded from my memory. Fast forward to today. A big part of my job involves speaking into a microphone. And it's as if I was following this energetic trail throughout the decades dating back 50 years. And I can trace so many things I love to do today to those early days: writing, music, reading, exploring, things that transported me to another state of mind, things that broadened my horizon in some way. I think it's important to note that there wasn't a direct correlation for me at any time in this life journey that the things that I loved to do as a kid would ever translate to a vocation. Some kids are prodigies or they have obvious focused passions, but it's not like that for most of us. And it's easy to dismiss the things that we enjoyed as little more than hobbies that we'd outgrow. But the things I loved doing as a kid fueled me throughout my adult life and expanded to include photography, film, art, spoken word, travel, the natural world, all of which have elements of storytelling, of creating a deeper understanding of my world. These activities shaped and developed my inner life and my outer relationships. They kept me growing, kept me curious and engaged, even when my professional work felt mind-numbing. And I learned to love the process of writing, which became my preferred practice. Keeping a notebook gave me a way to capture my elusive, inspirational jolts. It was a place to learn and to dream, to brainstorm and develop my creative ideas. And without me even realizing it, I was readying myself for when this thing called podcasting would be invented. So even though I wouldn't categorize my adulthood as playful, I've actually been playing my entire life. Play is simply defined as being engaged without an end result, simply enjoying yourself. And isn't that a great way to explore your next phase of life? So my takeaway for you is to revisit those things where you've lost all track of time, no matter how insignificant those activities seem to have on your life now. What's the unifying theme of the way you spent your time when you were younger? And how have those threads woven their way into your life today? If you're not sure how to invite more play into your life, here are a few suggestions to get you started. 1. Move your body in a new way or a way that you used to love, like riding your bike, dancing, or playing a mean air guitar. 2. Re-engage with a favorite board game, a puzzle, or a toy, whatever kept you occupied for hours as a kid. Maybe some old-school video games. Remember Pong? 3. Put on some of your favorite music, take a drive, and let your imagination roam free. Give yourself extra points if you sing really loudly, or if you bring along some of your favorite snacks, or treat yourself to an ice cream cone along the way. Fred Rogers, Mr. Rogers, is quoted as saying, quote, "Play is often talked about as if it were a relief from serious learning, but for children, play is serious learning. Play is really the work of childhood," unquote. Let's turn that around a bit and make play the work of adulthood, finding what fulfills you and lights you up, and following that trail wherever it leads, having fun all the way. Thank you so much for joining me today. I know there are many ways you can spend your time. Thank you for choosing to spend it with me. Until our paths cross again, be kind to yourself and show your warrior spirit some love. If you know anyone who could benefit from today's episode, please pass it on. And many thanks for supporting the show by subscribing and leaving a review. It means a lot, and it helps others find their way to our circle. If you'd like to access the show notes, have a question you'd like addressed on a future episode, or would like a transcript of this episode, visit www.athenawellness.com/podcast. Until next time, Be well.